actually saw, that I did, my graduating was the one graduating that had a lot of goals. And he graduated in craft, a couple months prior, they had to take craft. So we transitioned to we just had one that
My skin likes your skin. Your scent draws me in. Hope you'll leave some behind whenever you go. Your hand seeks my hand. No, you'll leave me a man, but I hope for the best. Don't know what you want. How can't you see what is right in front? Or is there something else that you need? 'Cause you might just lead me on. Please don't take me too far. If we'll be what never I'll go if you go, and stay if you want. Your hand